TWM Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of TWM Talks, part of TWM Podcasts, your first dose of daily wrestling news, reviews and interviews for 6 out of the 7 days a week, and sometimes we do 7, sometimes we like to treat you. Available in all the usual places, you know what they are: Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, TuneIn, Podbean, wherever else you get your pods. But it's not about me today, it is all about the interview. Big thank you to WWE for this, and I can't believe I get to say that. We sent Adam Cailler down to Manchester before the Raw and SmackDown tapings to go and talk to the former WWE Cruiserweight Champion Cedric Alexander and the former WWE Women's, one half of the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Nikki Cross. He was joined by Tom Colohue from Sportskeeda, so that's the other voice you'll be hearing in the interview. So without further ado, here is when TWM spoke to Cedric Alexander and Nikki Cross.
With yourself, Nikki. Before you began your partnership with Alexa Bliss, there was a bit of a reinvention you went through. Do you think that helped with the championship run and the championship opportunities that came after, or do you think you would have still had that as you were?
For me, when I coming from NXT, so I was in NXT and I was coming from NXT in January, coming to Raw and SmackDown. For me, I was evolving as a person, and then with that, your character kind of evolves too. So for me, it was a very natural kind of evolution from the girl I was in NXT and very easily, how do I describe it? Easily agitated, easily excited, and the NXT universe really got to know Nikki Cross in that way. And then coming up to coming to Raw and SmackDown, it was I was going through different experiences and I was reacting differently to what I was going through on Raw and SmackDown. So it was the development was, as you know, like I said, you know, we develop as people, and I think our characters develop too. And so for me, it was just a very natural, and I think people were seeing different. And I think for the last 10 months, as I'd say 8 months, I was like, no, we're not in August, we're November. The last 10, 11 months, I think everyone's seen different layers. So they've seen little flashes of Nikki Cross that they knew in NXT, but they've also seen this different layers to my personality, because you know, there's so much more to me than just one thing, like, and people are like that too. So I think people just get to know the different sides of me. And then I think the championship and the partnership with Alexa and the friendship with Alexa has just helped me so much. And I think that, you know, we came together at the start of the year, springtime, and we worked hard, and I think we worked with each other really well, and our chemistry grew, and our in-ring, our tag team moves grew, and our moveset developed with each other, and we were able to become the NXT WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So for me, it was just a very natural evolution, and I think, and we're still developing, we're still exploring, and I think people even now are still seeing different sides to my personality, and I just feel like I have so much to give, and there's so much I want to show the WWE universe. So for me, I think it's just been a very exciting journey, and I hope that the fans are, you know, enjoying it too, and just getting to know me. And like I said, you know, you still have different elements of Nikki Cross. Still get very easily excited.
And just not angry though. That's good.
Yeah, I'm working at Alexa's helped me with that. You know, Alexa's really helped me like be a bit more mellow. But sometimes when she's not there, it's hard to control that. It's the coffee. I think I have way too much caffeine intake. So
when they said to you they were going to pay you with Alexa, what was your initial reaction, and did you expect it to go as well as it did?
Me and Alexa came together, and we wanted to work with one another because our friendship had started to grow, and so it all kind of, I said this before today as well, you know, it was life and art imitating each other. For us, I felt something like I knew it was going to click right away, and right away it clicked, and right away something between us both felt right. So for me, I was like, I wasn't surprised at all, because I knew it worked, and there was just something more, because we're very similar in some ways, and we're very different in other ways. So we bounce off each other really well, but we also balance each other in different ways. And she's just such a pleasure to work with, and I love working with her. And
you make it sound like a marriage.
It is.
It kind of is.
It is. Sorry, Lexi, it is. So for me, it's I knew just something right away clicked, and I think for the WWE Universe, something clicked with them too, and they wanted to see me and Alexa, and they, and like I said, we got all the way to the tag team championships, and we plan on recapturing that again. So second time.
Cool.
First ever 2-time women's tag team champions.
Nikki all belts.
All the belts. we got to get it checked.
Cedric,
yes.
when you were at the top of 205 Live, it was a very popular time. You had the tournament and you had a lot of eyes on the product. Do you think you achieved everything you wanted to in that brand before moving to Raw?
No. I still think I could have done more. There's a lot of guys I still could have worked with. There's a lot of matches and first time evers we still could have done, like we never had a cruiserweight ladder match. There's a lot of things we never really done. Like there's tons, and
that would be insane. That'd be awesome.
For years, we have been like since the establishment of 205 Live, a lot of the guys were thinking our dream scenario for WrestleMania. Ladder match, cruiserweight championship.
Oh wow, that would be amazing.
We crossed our fingers for years, and even knocked on doors who do we talk to? We can hey, let's do this. We would love to do it.
Yeah.
And no, there's still so much that can be done, that will be done, that I would love to come back and do for 205 Live if they're given the opportunity.
Yeah, for a long time you had the opening match of WrestleMania would be a ladder match and multi-man. I would have loved to see that.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted. Let's open up WrestleMania with a hot cruiserweight ladder.
Yes.
What?
Because 205 is such amazing talent. So to imagine that on WrestleMania is just... Hey, well, WrestleMania is in Tampa.
It is.
Next year.
It is.
And it's a great little family vacation spot. Holiday. Scotland holiday. Great holiday spot. So maybe we do a 205 ladder match in WrestleMania Tampa.
And not have it on the pre-show.
And not have it on the pre-show. And then we could, do some callbacks. Maybe me, Buddy, and Mustafa could come back.
Oh, yeah.
For a special...
Can I be in that? I'm under 205.
Come on.
Under 205.
Yeah, you're in there. Come on.
Height or...
I didn't say...
Are you making a short joke?
No, I did not.
Very sensitive with my height. Just kidding, I'm not.
It's one of the best things about you.
Oh, thank you. Compared to small spaces. That sounded really sinister.
Were you going to pop out of underneath a table at some point?
That explains a lot when you were creeping around NXT too. So yeah, it was very
explains
easy.
A lot.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
We need someone to go in a box. There we go.
Nikki's the one to do it.
Where's Nikki hiding?
We've got it now. You volunteer to go in there and just fit in a box.
Cedric, do you find it more difficult now to just make an impact, given there's such a massive roster, 3 shows essentially all merging into one at certain points?
Of course, it's way more difficult to make an impact. And the talent in WWE right now it's overflowing. It really is. You see every day, just the guys that, oh man, what if he's on TV this week? And then well, no, we got a whole other list of guys that can be on TV too. So it's hard to balance out who's going to go where, who's going to do what, and because it's really just so much to really calculate at one time. When you got guys like Cesaro and Ricochet on opposite sides, especially with Aleister Black in the middle, and then you got a Finn Balor over here, Undisputed Era down here.
But does that make the whole roster far more competitive than it ever has been?
And you know what? Actually, that adds one of the things we were saying earlier. That adds to the pressure. It makes everyone better. It makes everyone work harder. Because if you really want it, now you got some real competition on all sides to compete with, and it's one of the things competition makes a better product.
Yeah, and also, we have the Raw Monday nights on USA Network, we have NXT on Wednesday nights on the USA Network, and we have SmackDown on Fox. We also have 205 and we have NXT UK. So that's 5 brands, and that is such an amazing amount of talent. So because we have the 5 shows and there's so many hours of television, and we have the WWE Network, there's some amazing opportunities for everyone, and it's just kind of, week to week. So you might not see someone one week, but you might see them on another brand in 2 weeks' time, and it's something very exciting. And I think this is the best time, and there's such amazing opportunities for everyone.
And it's really easy to look at each roster from each brand and go, this is the best roster in the world.
Yeah.
It's really easy to say that about any of those rosters.
Nikki, I have to ask about Evolution 2.0 as it may or may not be. Do you know if it's happening and do you want it to happen?
I would love it to happen. The Evolution 1 I was watching it and I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And this is such a wonderful thing because, women from the past, women from the present, and, women of the future, because we have to remember that, get women back in 2000. When I first started watching wrestling at WWE, it was Lita and it was Trish Stratus and it was Molly Hall, and you had Victoria, Gail Kim, Mickey James. You had all these women that were really breaking down barriers then, and then we had some influx 2006. There's been so many different, every generation has broken down even more doors and more barriers. Yeah, so it's women from the past, they will get to be celebrated. Women from the present were being were also, they were being showcased, and then they were, all of that lays the groundwork for our future stars, with women like myself, so for Evolution 2 that would present such an amazing, another showcase for where we've came from the first Evolution. So we will see what happens. I'm just so excited for all of our women's divisions. It's just a great time, and I think the Evolution gave the women's a long-lasting legacy stamp on it. So I would love to compete on Evolution 2.
You could see the excitement in your face just when I was asking the question, to be fair.
No, it was. I loved I think it was Ivory in the Battle Royal from Evolution. It was awesome. She looked fantastic. She looks amazing.
It's amazing.
Oh, she looks wonderful. And the Riot Squad had a great match with Sasha, Bayley, and Natalya. You had Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey in the main event. You had Becky and Charlotte with their last woman standing match, and it was just such a great card and such a great pay-per-view, and I was just so proud and happy for all, like I said, every generation of women that came through, because every woman in different ways has broke down different barriers in the industry.
This podcast, and indeed all TWM podcasts, are brought to you by SquaredCircleBox.com, the only place for your monthly wrestling box needs. With things from superstars from WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, British Wrestling, Independent Wrestling, and loads more, it is the only place that matters if you want to get the best wrestling swag for a low price. That low price is just £25, people. What a bargain! And you can get snapbacks, t-shirts, magazines, DVDs, trinkets, whatchamacallit, doodads, you name it, they have it each and every month. And just because you listen to TWM, you sexy people, you get 10% off your first order. All you got to do is use the code TWM News in the checkout. Just use the code TWM News in the checkout for 10% off your first order at SquaredCircleBox.com.
Why not spread? I said, why not spread the gospel of the TWM squad with some of our lovely merch over at Teespring? We have t-shirts for all shapes and sizes, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and loads more. Also, just for listening to this podcast, you can get 10% off your order. I said using the code podcast. That's podcast. Once again, podcast in the checkout for 10% off at teespring.com/stores/TWM-wrestling-merch. That's right. Praise. Testify.
Cedric, speaking of women who sort of breaking down barriers, someone you know very well, Big Swole.
My wife.
Yeah. Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah, so she's a big friend of the site that we work for, TWM. What do you make of her news last night that she signed for AEW?
She's such a great talent.
I mean, obviously, you probably would
like,
fight with her every week. I mean, that dirty dancing move she does.
Oh,
I helped improve that.
Oh, really? Oh, there we go.
It's my thing. It's a hard question to answer. I'm gonna leave that no comment. I'll leave that no comment. There's some insinuating circumstances with that I am not at liberty to say. So for now, I'm gonna have to not answer that one. can't really answer that right. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Was there a learning curve going from 205 where the athleticism is the key factor, going up to a Raw where there's a lot more strength and power?
Yeah, I'll tell you, oh God, because I remember my first match was with Cesaro, and I had never wrestled him before, and I'm thinking, okay,
that was the first time you guys had worked?
First time we ever touched.
Oh, wow.
We ever touched in any way, and I just remember thinking, yeah, I'm a cruiserweight, I'm a little faster than him, I'm strong though, so I'm quicker, I can hit him, it's fine, it's no big deal. The first time he grabbed me was terrifying. He really is pound for pound the strongest man I've ever been in the ring with. And getting hit with those uppercuts, it's like, I thought my heart was going to stop. It's such a concussion feeling. Oh man, it's so weird. It's I don't say weird, it's just, it hurts a lot. I'm trying to know it hurts. It hurts.
So did your training need to change at all? Because you went 100%. From the 205 to the...
So this is where I run into the problem of I want to stay around 205, but then I have to do this, and I have to beef up. My calorie intake is a lot higher now, so now...
Well, that's a good thing.
Everything's a lot different. I can eat more and not feel as bad because I got to put on the extra weight to be able to take some of these blows from these big guys and be able to blow back. And so yeah, it's a big learning curve, but not necessarily having to change my strategy or how I approach a match, but really more so just the physical aspect, because now I have to focus more on my strength, my endurance, and a little bit less on the speed. I can still be quick, but I need to be able to hit and get hit.
Nikki, Manchester and sort of the Northwest is probably quite special to you because you made your SmackDown debut here last year, and I think 2014 you made your NXT debut in Liverpool.
Yes.
I was there.
Rosebud!
Yes. But also it was on a house show. You actually wrestled just as Nikki Glenn Cross as well in the Echo Arena. God, it's such a special place, and even on Monday, we have our show. WWE Raw is going to the Hydro in Glasgow, so it's just I love Manchester, and I think you've touched on it already. Like, this is a lot of memories for me. In Liverpool was the Echo Arena, and that was the first time I'd ever came to WWE, and we did a match, and that was my first experience. And from there, after then, we had a tryout in London 2015 in the O2 Arena. So there was just I was really lucky enough and blessed enough to have these great opportunities, and they were within driving distance from Glasgow. A long drive from Glasgow to London, but just so lucky, and that's what I love being back here. And it's not just the toast and the beans and the cheese toasties, it's just such a scented cheese toasties are my mom made the best. She had the dairy cheese and she had the butter, and she put on so much butter, but it was great, it wasn't too much butter. And then so much dairy, and the dairy would be oozing, and it would be in the toast. Oh my God, you can't get them anywhere.
Flashbacks, aren't you? Oh,
I'm getting flashbacks.
Cedric, what's it like when I coach with her? Like
this?
Yeah.
It's like this? Even when she's dead tired?
Yeah.
Still like this?
Still like that.
Still full of energy. I understand it.
So it's not just about being home and getting the cheese toasties, it's a lot of sentimental value, and it's just a reminder of this is where I came from, this is where I grew up a lot, learned a lot, and it just shows me that there's still so much left I want to do, but it's so great to come back here and just remember how it all started. Keeps your feet on the ground.
It's really good.
Do you feel like follow-up question, do you feel like you're kind of representing Scotland every time you step in the ring?
Oh, 100%. And there's myself, there's Drew McIntyre, there's Noam Dar with NXT UK, there's Kaylee Ray with NXT UK, there's Piper Niven, there's Isla Dawn on NXT UK, and we have such a good little good group, and I've always tried to have the Scotland flag represented in my gear and attire in some way, shape or form. because it's important to me. I was the first ever Scottish woman to be signed with WWE, and I think that that's such an accomplishment that should be celebrated and taken seriously. And and I said this earlier on today, you want to meet those expectations, but you also want to exceed them to a great level. So for me, I 100% want to represent Scotland, and I really hope I make Scottish fans proud of Nikki Cross.
Can I ask if either of you or both of you would want to see more intergender wrestling in WWE?
Pew, 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 pew. I can take you.
Just do it now.
There's a part of me that like, there's some matches I kind of really want to see, just to see how they would go. Like, okay, this might sound crazy. Hear me out. Sasha Banks versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh, be fast.
I think that
Fast.
I'm curious to see that. I mean,
I agree. There's a lot of.
I don't know. There's like a lot of. I don't know.
But we have the mixed match challenge. That was massive success, and everyone loved that, because I think it was something a little different that people could sink their teeth into. And there's so much more we can do with mixed match challenge. We could do it more often, and but I think that's really successful.
Yeah.
And for me, we tell these stories on WWE television. We tell so many different stories, and 100% that's an avenue that could be explored more with the stories. Because what we do is it's no different to other TV shows that are produced weekly. And I think the fans would be very intrigued to see what else we could do with that.
And then you asked that question, and that reminds me, Chyna was the first woman who won the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep. Yes, she was.
Popped in my head.
And she competed in the Royal Rumble, as did Beth Phoenix.
And she was co-champion with Jericho as well.
Yeah.
She was co-champion. I remember that feud. Oh man, that
takes us back nostalgia.
That was so good.
We'll win this last question.
Sure. Yeah, go on. I need to think. Good.
I was just going to follow up with that, as you mentioned the mixed match challenge. Who are your ideal mixed match challenge partners?
I mean, of course, it's my wife.
Yeah.
Look, Big Swole to come over, and let's just do the Swole family.
The Dirty Dancing.
We've already got tag moves planned out. Trust me, we've already got tag moves. We got it all. We got tag. We got the taunts. We got the entrance. I've dreamed about this. I've dreamed about this for a while.
Obviously, my husband Killian Dane, he's making waves right now down in NXT. So for me, I would love to do a mixed match challenge with him, because he had a huge part of my training coming up from 2008. So he had a huge part of my training. He guided me and helped me a lot. And he's really like someone that I turn to a lot when I need ideas or advice, or I just steal his ideas.
You guys share.
We share. It's a marriage, we share. So for me, like, being able to work with him is always been fun. I worked with him in Sanity. I worked with him on the independent scene. We have so much fun working together. So I would love to work with him on Mixed Match Challenge.
So if you could
take you guys.
We don't even start.
I'm saying it.
Don't even.
I'm saying she's Big Swole. I'm saying
she has Big Swole, so yeah,
Bro, she got bigger guns than me.
I think that could be a little match there. Hey. I love that idea.
So, kind of connected to that, if you could pick one woman from outside of WWE,
okay,
who would you pick to take on?
Outside WWE.
Oh. You got a long list. I can name 3 I want to see.
Yeah, I can name 1.
Oh, cool. Tell me.
Tessa Blanchard.
Oh.
I helped train her.
Who was yours? You said 3.
Who's mine? Oh, so Tessa was one of them.
Oh.
And of course Ariel.
Of course. I never got to work with it. She never worked with Tessa either, actually.
So the first time she ever heard of you was when you started introducing yourself as like the macadamia cheesecake cookie.
The white chocolate cheesecake was Sports Entertainment, because I was obsessed with like white chocolate, like cheesecake. I was obsessed with it, and I was on an independent show, and they gave me a microphone, and I had to talk about, I was the best in the galaxy. So I needed a nickname that reflected that, and I love cheesecake. I love white chocolate cheesecake, and I was like, I'm going to call myself something I love. I'm going to call myself the white chocolate cheesecake of Sports Entertainment.
You should bring that back.
I should bring that back. So good. Goodness gracious, I'm trying to think of someone outside WWE. She's retired now, but Manami Toyota.
Ooh.
She's retired now.
My
That would have been amazing. She was.
my third choice would have been Maple Side Market.
Oh. Yes.
Huge fan.
Go on, you pick one for yourself. Not woman, but a man.
Oh, man.
Or either.
All the guys I really want to wrestle kind of in WWE.
Yeah.
Way. Man, that is really hard now. It's really hard. Okay, AR Fox is definitely one. I haven't had to wrestle him yet. Eddie Kingston, another guy.
I love Eddie.
I love Eddie. I haven't had a chance to wrestle him. This third choice. Okay, this is a selfish one for me. Darius Lockhart. He's a guy that I also helped train, and I've seen him grow from. I literally met this kid as he was 16-year-old kid. I saw him in the gym randomly, and he said, "Oh, I really love your work in Ring of Honor." And I was like, "All right, cool, thanks, man. Good to meet you." And he shows up a year later at the training school. I'm training him. He goes to England. He comes here on his own.
Oh.
Stays for 3 months. He's here now, actually. I haven't see him yet, but no, yeah, I'm so proud of him. So proud of him, and I've had a chance to wrestle him in some years, so I'd love to see how much he's grown.
Oh.
Yeah.
A big thank you to Nikki Cross and Cedric Alexander for sitting down with Tom and Adam for this interview. A big thank you to WWE for making all of this possible. I can't believe that a rinky-dink little website and podcast like us are now doing interviews with WWE superstars, but it's fantastic to see. It's all thanks to you guys putting the word out, as well as all the people that work behind the scenes at TWM. But even if they're WWE superstars, we're going to tell you to go give them a follow on Twitter at Nikki Cross WWE, at Cedric Alexander. Please go follow Adam Cailler at Cailler, which is ACAILLER, or you can go follow Tom at Colohue, COLOHUE, just in case you struggle on the spelling on those ones. We've got loads of podcasts coming up the rest of this week. We've got Raw and Smack Talk, we've got the Indie Wrestling Show, we have got Best of the Rest, we have got the Wednesday Night War, going through all the shows that are on your wrestling week, because there are bloody loads nowadays. And maybe, just maybe, you might see it on Sunday. There might be something special in regards to the return of Premonitions and finally getting that belt off of Joe, who will become the challenger or challengers to Joe's TWM Premonitions Championship. You have to keep an eye out on social medias to see where that goes. Once again, big thank you WWE, big thank you to Nikki Cross, big thank you to Cedric Alexander, big thank you to Adam and Tom for doing the interview. This has been this week's TWM Talks. Thank you for listening. Please leave a rating and review as well. And before I nearly forget, squaredcirclebox.com, TWM News, 10% at the checkout for your first order to get your latest load of wrestling swag monthly. And we'll speak to you again soon.